What's up, y'all? Back with another video, this time on the Holy Paladin, doing some more rank solo shuffle. If you've been keeping up with this series, you know I'm doing 100 rating increment climbs. So this was the climb from about 1920, 1930 to 2022, 2030. And it was an interesting one. Versus a disc priest, that's going to be a lot of what you fight in solo shuffle. This first matchup was okay. Anytime you start out with the blessing of autumn, it's pretty good, or blessing of summer. I go ahead and pop my defensives here. It does look like the warrior's getting dropped. They're actually cleaving everybody right now, but the Enhance is doing a good job of tossing off heals, and I do go ahead and use Bop on him. And I have the main beacon on the Enhance because I thought they were going to focus him. The priest is running over to fear me, and I stun him, and we end up getting the kill there. I think that was him overextending a little bit, trying to get the fear on me. He should have just focused on keeping his teammates alive. So this next one is going to be Enhance and Arms Warrior, which is Turbo Cleave. We should technically have the advantage here. The Enhance played pretty well throughout the match, and they only have the offensive dispel for Bop from the Disc Priest. So I am running Blessed Hands. Since they have a monk, you can use Blessing of Protection to take off Karma. The monk and DK go for me immediately, so you see me spamming beacon to swap beacon. He does string me. I go ahead and bubble a little early, and I run over here to try and top myself a little bit, and then I lay on hands the warrior and dispel him. So we've actually stabilized here, and the Disc Priest did not get my bubble off. I didn't notice if the Enhance stopped him. Like I said, the Enhance was playing really well. I go ahead and utilize a Bop here because I'm assuming the disc won't be able to purge it off. They're going back me, and I decide to trinket this time because I know he doesn't have Strangulate up. You can see it still has another 30 seconds. I do a quick little juke there. They're still chasing me down. I'm just trying to pull them into an awkward position for their healer. And the monk does go down, and I don't even see what happens there because I'm trying to focus on me staying alive. So that was... honestly, I think that was the best strategy they could have done, was to go me, and they just needed to have the priest get the MD. Honestly, he should have been being ready to pre-MD as soon as that guy got the Strangulate on me. I could have trinketed the Strangulate, but the problem with that is if they have any kind of follow-up CC and then I have to bubble anyway, it's really, really bad because then I've wasted bubble and trinket. Honestly, I probably could have just bubbled the second he hit me with Strangulate and just focused on, you know, not playing it risky, but it ended up being okay. So we're currently 2-0, and I was thinking, all right, we got to get one more win to get the 3-0. They're pumping everything into my Enhance here, so I did sack him before that came up. He grips me in, and he popped his defensives, so I do trinket that Strangulate into a blind, which ended up being kind of bad. I use bubble, like I'm just focusing everything. He missed MD on me. I'm just focusing everything on keeping this Enhance alive because I know he doesn't have many defensives. Enhance is kind of squishy. It's probably one of the worst shaman specs. So like I said, the fact that this guy was staying alive, he was doing everything he needed to do. He was playing really well. And it looks like they're swapping to the Disc Priest, which is really good. He can't get his offensive pressure out. He can't sit there and spam dispel me. The DK does end up locking me there with his pet, which was a pretty good play. It gets a little sketchy here. I do get the Bop, and it looks like they don't get the dispel off, and so we're going to stabilize. And it looks like the monk is just full on going for the priest here, and he does end up taking him down with, I think, Touch of Death. Not sure there. So that ended up being a really good round. I think that's one of the toughest ones to win because we were playing as Enhance Windwalker, and I just think, I don't know, I think this is really tough. This one's also kind of a tough one, but what they can do is they can just run at the Disc Priest. So exactly what they did to me, they can do to the Disc Priest, and I can just focus on hodging him. Or you notice I also have the damage blessing up, so I'm going to give it to the monk. As soon as he gets in combat, I'm going to give it to him, and this is a huge damage bonus for him. It's like almost a 40% buff to his damage, because he's all burst damage. So right there, I give him the buff. They do decide to go on the Disc Priest, and they start pumping everything. The Disc Priest uses Pain Sup, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, and it's not. So they popped everything, killed him in the opener. That's the 4-0. So now I'm thinking we're going to be, yep, Arms Warrior, Windwalker. So I'm not sure if this is the one. One of these gets really sketchy here at the end, and I didn't play that great. I'm not sure if it's this one or not, but we'll see here in just a second. Also, this is a side note, but if you're playing a healer, which I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos are, if you're playing a healer, the best thing to do is just turn off chat in these. You'll get so much less tilted if you just turn off chat. So they start on the monk here. I'm waiting for him to grip me in, and he does grip me. He actually grips me out of line of the priest, which is pretty good. And it looks like they're just going to focus the monk the entire time. So I decide to pop wings here, and I just want to keep him topped. The monk wants the priest again, but it does look like he gets stunned in the barrier, which isn't good, because that barrier reduces a ton of damage. He gets the strangulate on me. I do go ahead and sack here. I think he was going for the fear there, but I had him sacked, so I think it broke instantly, or he didn't even get it. I do go ahead and bubble. Like I said, I'm just trying to get full value out of all my cooldowns. And because it looks like that priest is in trouble, that's why I wasn't worried about the bubble there, and they do end up taking him down. So priest is not having a good time at this point. And this is the last round. So we're 5-0 at this point. And I was thinking, I thought this was really weird. It kept saying I was in combat, even though I was in the starting area. And there we go. Took me out of combat. But this one ended up being pretty good. You know, usually Disc Priest, also I cast Blessing of Winter there because I knew it was going to be useless. We're not going into dampening, we're not going into a heavy dampening battle in any of these where I'm going to go So Blessing of Winter is pretty much useless. That's why you see me cast it there, because I want the healing buff whenever it does come up in 30 seconds. The monk's going to chase me up here, which is fine. It's really awkward for the priest to MD me up here if I do have to bubble. So I'll go ahead and press shield wall because it looks like I'm okay. I pop wings, and I don't think he's going to be able to take me down. I'm not sure if I even swap beacon here because I just wasn't worried about him one-shotting me. I try and juke. He actually doesn't fall for the juke, so I'm going to freedom myself. Run over here, and I accidentally set focus to his pet, which ended up being really bad here because I don't notice it in the middle of the match. And so his pet does disappear. I toss the healing buff on me, the Blessing of Spring, but notice I still haven't noticed that my focus is gone. So I'm going to run in here in a second to focus Hammer of Justice, the priest, and it ends up being really bad. So I do trinket, and I'm like, what in the world? Why isn't this going off? And then I'm like, oh crap, my focus wasn't set. It ends up being okay. I do a short DR'd Hodge. This game was a little bit chaotic. Definitely not as good as the other ones. Use Bop there, and he's not able to purge it off, and we get the kill. And that is the 6-0. So that is another 100 rating climb towards 2400. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to drop a like on it. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe. Hope you guys are enjoying the series, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.